Do you know how to speak in front of an audience? I doubt it. Today I'm going to give you some great tips to help you have the confidence to get up in front of an audience and speak your mind into their mind so that their mind becomes more like your mind, which should be more like my mind since that's what you're listening to this podcast for. It's going to be an amazing show. Let's get into it. Hit it, James.
The Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey, I'm your host, Brad Johnson. Here as always with me is the assistant
James
to the
Kirkland.
host, James Kirkland. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show, where we turn losers like you into winners like me. So glad to have you here, as always, pouring my voice into your brain cavity.
And mine.
James, we've had some killer interviews recently, have we not?
We really have.
They have been killer.
You know, the only way we could get a better interview is if you interviewed yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Because I'm such a good interviewer, but I'm also like an amazing guest.
Exactly.
If you put those two together, that might be explosive. Like, really explosive.
This microphone would probably blow up in our
I think
face.
you're right. And people's phones be blowing up in their pockets, and man.
Even if it's not a Samsung.
Exactly. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you've enjoyed those interviews, that some of the guests that I brought in have provided you with some value. I know it might not be as much value as if it was just me talking, but I'm sure it's done something for you. So, honestly, really with the quality of guests that I get, though, sometimes I almost surprise myself. But at the same time, I really don't, because I'm so good at reading people that I know what I have coming almost before I even know. It's pretty much incredible. I don't even know how I do it, except I do, because I know things. I know a lot of things, okay? So that's just how it works. But, okay, so on the show, I help you salvage the wreckage that is your life through my tried and true answers that are guaranteed to change your life, maybe even for the better. But before we get to the amazing questions, the amazing answers to your burning questions, it's time for a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired of getting charged for using autoresponders? Every entrepreneur needs to have a good email sequence in order to capture leads and move their business forward. But be honest, you don't want to have to spend a bunch of money in order to have that. Introducing Constant Baboon Weber, the only marketing automation platform and email marketing service that makes subscribers pay you, no matter what kind of marketing automation platform or email marketing services you use. They usually require you to pay them money. However, you are the one providing value by sending emails to your subscribers, so why shouldn't your subscribers pay you instead? With Constant Baboon Weber, that's exactly what happens. Here's how it works. Pay nothing up front to subscribe to Constant Baboon Weber's cloud-based platform. Install the plugin on your website and voila! Now every time someone tries to sign up for your email list, they will be instructed to input their credit card information. After that, just sit back and watch the money roll in as your subscribers are charged on a sliding scale based on the number of emails you send and the length of each email. It's just that simple. So get Constant Baboon Weber today and transform your business.
All right, great sponsor. It's actually one that I use on some of my websites, and let me tell you, entrepreneurs, by definition, we monetize everything, okay? I'm talking everything. Giving away free stuff, waste of time, for losers. You're providing so much value, or at least you should be, in your emails, that you deserve to get something back. That's how entrepreneurs think, and that's why we're rich. All right, James, questions. Let's answer these people's questions. It's been a while since we've done a question and answer episode.
It is.
I think these people are desperate.
The questions are just piling up. The inbox is overflowing.
It's the leaning
thanks to
tower
Baboon
of Pisa questions right there.
The leaning tower of niche mails.
Exactly.
Here they come.
All right, let's get the first question going here.
Dear Brad, I recently got asked to speak at a very large event, a gig which I landed thanks to the networking skills I learned through your course.
Of course.
I can't say which event it was, but it rhymes with Blaffic and Dunversion Dummit. I was hoping you could answer this question on air and give me a few quick tips to make sure my talk really truly wins. If I screw this up, it could be terribly embarrassing and could ruin my career, but I know I can count on you for great advice. Signed, hitting the big time.
Oh boy, that's great. That's they can't say it. I get why they can't say it. The Blaffican version done it. But I think I know what they're talking about. I know most conferences. Pretty much all the conferences. I know them. So that's it's a big conference, big deal. So good job. Like I think I'm pretty sure I'm keynoting there again this year. So that'll
probably
be
be speaking after you actually.
You could be, or I could be speaking on both sides of him. So who knows? Or at the same time. Well, anyway. So hitting the big time. This is a big deal. So I don't want you to take this lightly. Okay, this could legitimately ruin your life if you mess this up. So no pressure, but make sure that you do it perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 quick tips. These are just quick tips. Remember, check out the Brad Johnson, BradJohnsonShow.website/course to get more information on how to actually publicly speak and speak publicly, because those are both very important things to do and know how to do. So first of all, the first tip here is visualize, okay? So...
Oh, is this where you visualize everyone in their underwear?
No.
To intimidate them?
No, that's just creepy. So what we do here is you just visualize yourself standing on the stage at the end of your speech, and you bow your head, and the single light comes down shining on you, and you lift your head, and you see a standing ovation of people. And it's just like in the movies where like the sound is like so loud that it's like quiet, and you just hear it like way in the background, and then it like slowly starts to fade into your ears, and then like there's roses and like candy and money and probably like jewelry like just being thrown at you because they love the speech so much. Okay, so that's what I want you to visualize. Just picture that, because that's most likely what's going to happen if you follow these steps. So visualize that first, because it's just a fun thing to do. I don't think it actually helps at all, but it's really fun. Okay, so the next tip here is to get up on stage and just be silent. Maybe even the whole time. Okay, I don't. You could do it the whole time. You don't have to, but I think like just think about the impact that would have on people. Like people underestimate and overestimate and don't even estimate the effect of silence.
Silence is golden.
Exactly,
and gold is a very valuable thing.
It's worth money, I think. Yeah,
it really is.
So think about that. When you get up on stage, just don't say anything. Most people get up, they run up there, and they're like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And people are like, words, oh my goodness. But if you get up there and you're just like, whew, and they're like,
no words. Wow.
No words.
It's the nonverbal cues.
Exactly.
Use the nonverbal
exactly. Cues. Check out that episode. That was amazing. So get up there, silent, give them the silent treatment. They love it. And even if you do the whole event silently, like think about how many people are going to be talking about that for the rest of their lives. They've probably never heard a lack of a speech like that. Okay? So keep that in mind. And the third tip is think of this as a performance. You're not getting up there to provide value. You're getting up there to have people watch you. You're not getting up there to give a speech or do anything like that. You're getting up there to perform and act out in front of people where you couldn't do that in normal circumstances.
And wouldn't you say that would be a reason to really work on reading the audience and adjusting your message to get the right response that you want?
Exactly. If they're not liking what you say, you should probably turn that around and say something completely different. It works in basically everything. So whether you're giving a keynote, like I do so often at big events, or, you know, I think you had mentioned before, politics works fantastic there. They do it all the time.
Lots of politicians take the course and they're using the skills they're learning.
Exactly. It works every time.
They get what they want.
It works. It works in personal relationships too. So try it out. Those are the 3 tips. Do it, crush it, win. Next question.
Dear Brad, your course has changed my life.
Of course.
I hear that all the time. I'm totally blowing up my numbers and selling like never before. # winning like never before. My question for you is this. How do I go about outsourcing? I know you are basically like the king of outsourcing, and I just don't even know where to start. Should I go with a VA or should I just start small? Where is the best place to find a VA? How much should I pay? I know it's a lot of questions, but I know I came to the right place for answers. Signed, Overwhelmed with Winning.
Overwhelmed with winning, you most certainly did come to the right place for answers. Anybody who comes to me for answers knows that is what they have done, is come to the right place for answers. So I'm glad you asked this. I know there's a lot of people, especially people who've taken the course, where they're just like, oh my goodness, I'm winning so much. How do I like handle all this winning? And it's time to outsource, to get a VA, okay? So, but for you, overwhelmed with winning, I would say, like I say to everyone, this is what I call entourage rage, okay? So you don't just want a VA. You don't just want to outsource. Don't start small, start big, okay? Then you actually will be winning. So entourage means that you want an entourage of entourages. So get not just one VA, okay? Get 3 VAs. So you may start out with nothing for them to do, but just give them stuff to do. So like whether it's holding your briefcase or your backpack or your coat or handing them your cell phone, get multiple cell phones actually. That's another big thing. You need to put that on your to-do list, okay?
Real power move.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want more than one phone and make sure there are different brands and different carriers on each one. You don't want the same it would just look corny if you had the same one. You want different brands, different carriers on each phone. Give one to each VA. Have that. Make sure they have them call each other on the new cell phones so that you can always be picking up the phone. I mean, you will look like such a power player. Okay. So with your entourage, just picture that. Okay, picture that. 3 people walking behind you answering cell phones, like they're just ringing back and forth. And make sure they all have different ringtones too, okay? That's very important. So then, and as you're walking into a conference or whatever it may be, a Starbucks, you've got 3 people trailing along behind you, carrying your bags. That is power. That is winning. Okay, so it doesn't matter what they're doing, but yeah, that's what you want to do. So then you also asked about like how much should you pay?
It doesn't matter.
You
can't put a value on the amount of exposure and applause you'll get from having that much power.
That is true, but at the same time, smart entrepreneurs know when to overpay. That's really what it boils down to. So you gotta know when to overpay and when not to. So I would say, as far as finding a VA, like Craigslist, great place to find random people. Like you don't need them to be VAs. You need them to be able to put on a suit of clothes and look like a VA. That's all you need, and you're set. And then things will just flow from there. Believe me, they will just flow from there.
As long as they look attractive and they can walk in a straight line, that's really all you need.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look at me. I make a great VA. I look really good in a suit. And that's all you need.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the rapid fire questions. Hope that helps. Overwhelmed with winning. Let me know how your VA search goes.
All right. Our first rapid fire question. Here it comes.
Yep. Hit me rapidly.
The question gun is loaded.
Prepare
yourself.
Here we go. All right.
What would you do if you had 25 hours in every day?
Oh, that is so easy. I would win for another hour. Boom. Next question.
What don't you like to do in your business?
Now, that is so perfect that question is there because it goes right back to what we were talking about.
Great transition.
VAs, exactly. That's what professionals do, like me. That's on shows like this, is we have good transitions. So, VAs, what don't I like doing in business? Nothing. Because you know what? I've outsourced everything to my VAs that I don't like to do. So now everything that I do in my business is stuff that I love to do. And that is like the definition of being an entrepreneur, is winning while not having to do stuff you don't want to do when you don't want to do them. Okay? So there you go. Boom.
When do you know when it's time to quit your job? Asking for a friend.
Okay, that's an interesting question. I get this a lot because we're dealing with entrepreneurs, and generally speaking, entrepreneurs are people like, I don't want this job, I want to get away from it. So I would just say that you know it's time when you're asking the question. As soon as that question pops into your head, you know it's time. Because if it's time to quit your job and you've thought about quitting your job, so basically the definition of a boss is somebody who's smarter than you. So if you have a boss, that means that you're not as smart as they are. That's just how it works. So they are stealing your time to make money, and you are not making as much money as you could if you were your own boss. Okay? So if you're asking the question, it's time to quit.
Glad that's not my case.
Got that. Well, it's time to drop things down a little bit. We're going to go with my regular guest host, Skye. Come with me. Take my hand. Let's walk down the garden path. Dip your mind bucket into the well and be healthy. This is the part of the show where we talk with my good friend, my pal, my partner in healthy crime, Skye. Skye, how is it going, man?
Dude, Brad, it's been a while, but man, I am thriving and growing and things are happening, man.
That's so good.
That's where it's at.
So, do you find with the constant growing that like getting new pants gets expensive, or?
No, it's just the constant growing pains of
the developing mind,
of a healthy lifestyle,
and exactly,
and growing your mind and expanding your soul,
your brain,
to all corners of the earth.
Exactly,
it's a stretching experience.
Sounds kind of painful. So, what do you got for me this week, Skye? I know it's been a while since we've done a wellness well.
It really has.
I can hear the audience withering. Okay, they need some healthy advice here.
They need the health, man.
Exactly,
it's coming your way.
They need it. So, what do you got for me this week?
This week we're going to be talking about a practice that I call intermittent showering. So that's kind of a big word. So
It is.
let me break this down. So
Please.
intermittent means sometimes you shower.
Okay.
So
big
basically,
word, too.
it's kind of a big word, but it's a simple concept. Really, you're just gonna shower whenever you feel like it. So
Okay.
your body's gonna tell you. That's the thing. It's really about being in tune with your body and
Okay.
just breathing in the aura.
Okay,
Of,
so
of
this is kind of
yourself.
related to intermittent fasting.
Exactly.
So I knew I'd heard that concept before. So I think kind of with the intermittent fasting, they're like, well, your body like is always eating and always digesting. It's like it's
Right.
bad for it to always do that. So if you're showering all the time, I'd imagine the same thing.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. See, it gives your body a chance to replenish all of the oils and natural smells that it
I
produces.
see.
And-
Especially the smells.
Yeah, and it really just gives your body a chance to recover from all those, really bad chemicals in the
hate
soaps
those
and
bad
stuff.
chemicals.
And like the shampoos, it's like it's murder on your
Yeah.
follicles, man.
Don't want that. Okay, so with the intermittent showering, like you said, your body will tell you, but what do you do? Okay, people want to follow a guru who actually has stuff down. So tell me, Skye, what do you do?
So when it comes to the times that I do shower, it's not really shower. That's kind of a loose term.
Okay.
So the thing to do is to get some kind of natural water source. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find something like a creek or
Okay.
a stream or river or something.
Yeah.
Nothing too fast so you don't get swept away.
Okay,
But
don't
that
want that.
actually might not be a bad thing to return to where you came from.
Yeah,
But
totally.
so that allows the earth to take back all the natural chemicals
That you've produced
that
through
you
your
have
body.
produced.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's actually it helps the earth.
Love it.
When you bathe in that way.
Love it. Okay, so and I take it, like from what I've seen, you use rocks correctly instead of soap. That's
Correct.
generally okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's great. Intermittent showering. So people, give it a try. Okay, you don't know what your life is missing until you try it, and this may be one of the things that your life is missing.
It
okay?
is, honestly. Too many people are showering these days. You can just tell. There's have you seen how many people are allergic to like perfumes and stuff? That's why. Because they need to be doing intermittent cleaning and having natural scents instead of
Love it.
the artificial
So,
things.
Skye, as always, amazing. We will definitely be having you back sooner than this last stretch of time.
Of
Way
course.
too long. Can't have the audience dying before they become winners because
That's all right.
it's a long process for most people. So, all right, thanks, Skye. We will talk to you soon. All right, wonderful as always. Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the segment that I know you all just love to hear. This is the sound of my social footprint. This is where I read what you guys have to say about what I had to say and say what I had to say about that. All right, James, we are getting into the Twitter action again. We just always come back here to Twitter action and Facebook action
And
Instagram
Insta action.
Yeah, all kinds of action, all the actions of the actions. So, what do we got here today? Hit me.
Here we got some stuff from Instagram.
Yes.
This is from David and Dana.
Okay.
Says, we love making connections on Instagram, Brad Johnson Show. So much great opportunity for collaboration. Where do you get your inspiration?
Oh, man. I love these personal questions. You can really tell that they were wondering about me. Which is, people do that a lot. And it's understandable because there's so much to wonder about me because there's so much about me. So where do I get my inspiration? There's a lot of different places. Sometimes when I'm, cranking the wrench on my classic 69 Camaro, I just, things pop into my head, especially, winning ideas about how to make more money. Shower thoughts, they're coming
Or not
less
showering.
Exactly. They're coming less often because of the intermittent showering. But when I do the shower thoughts, and it's usually in a
more
cold
concentrated?
shower. Yes, exactly. So it's just like it's just crazy. So shower, cranking on my Camaro. I when I'm doing the ultra marathons that I do, every other week or so, I have a lot of time to think there.
Right.
So that, and then also when I'm swimming the 4 miles every morning, that also kind of kicks in the whole memory thing and the thinking thing
Right.
up there. That the thing that thinks of
your brain.
head. Yes, that. Okay, so good. All right, next question. There's other places that I get inspiration, obviously, as well, but those are just a few off the top of my head. So next
Mostly
question.
from yourself.
Yeah. All right, next tweet.
This is from Jap Holzman, who says, "Ziet or Godut, have a nice day."
Okay, some of our foreign listeners.
Yeah.
Very nice. Some xenophobes listening to the podcast. Love it.
We Are Limitless says, "Never change how amazing you are. Live the best life possible."
Already doing it. Next tweet.
Our last one comes from Motivation Inward Outward. Fantastic. One word says it all.
Right there. Yeah, that's if you're asking, what is the Brad Johnson Show? Right there. You just say, fantastic.
That's the footprint right there. It's like a stomp.
Ooh, yeah. All right. Okay, so it's time now to bring things down a notch. Just been bombarding you guys with so much wisdom that I think it's time we take it down a notch to the quote of the day from someone else with a little less concentration of wisdom, so you can really feel the depth of what I've given you and then what they try to give you, and less effectively. But anyway, all right. So this one is from George Carlin, good friend of mine. Yeah. So here we go. Most people work just hard enough not to get fired and get paid just enough money not to quit. George, you've been reading my thoughts. That is so deep, so true, so wonderful. Okay, people, stop being like that. Start being like me. Start winning. Thanks so much for listening to the Brad Johnson Show. Remember, if you got any questions for the show, we will be answering them in the order we get them. I'm sorry, there's just so many questions. So make sure, though, that if you want to get it heard on the air soon, leave an iTunes review. Leave your question as an iTunes review, because that is the best way to get your answer heard on the air. So thanks for the tweets, the likes, and all that sort of thing. We will talk to you next time. Till then, I'm winning, and I'm helping you to start winning. I'm Brad Johnson. Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life, while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.